Thank you for viewing our presentation. Our presentation is on the developing person through the lifespan of adulthood. This presentation is brought to you by Emily, Jalen, Natasha, and Celeste. Welcome to the first installment of adulthood. According to dictionary.com, the definition of adulthood is the state or condition of being fully grown or mature. The state or condition of adulthood consists of a lifespan, as no year for an adult is a logical divider. Our goal for this presentation is to introduce you to the psychological debate that is currently before us. Attention has exuded the need to define adulthood, as many adults experience life changes such as marriage, divorce, births, deaths, illnesses, and recovery. The fundamental events some adults experience is not programmed by their age, nor is their age an expectation of the events. Adults build from their past, creates a future, and evaluates the psychological being of their generation. We will now explore the developmental stages of adulthood. Developmental stages of adulthood. Adults during this stage are between the ages 25 to 65. During the stage of adulthood is when the body matures, mind masters new material, and people work productively. Adults' days are neither happy nor sad. The days exemplify the day before and or the day after. The experience of aging. The experience of aging consists of blood pressure, breathing, the brain with age, intelligence, difference in men and women and intellectual abilities. Life becomes a routine. Before adulthood, your neurons stop forming and parts of the brain shrink in size. However, during adulthood, some neurons grow in different parts of the brain and areas in the hippocampus gain new brain cells are gained. The specific area in the hippocampus is where the new neurons and brain cells are formed in the region activated and forming new memories. The adult brain is characterized by having amazing plasticity. In adulthood, the expansion of one part of the brain is due to the shrinkage of others. An example is adults may be slower losing to a teenager at video games, but their analysis is more comprehensive, meaning that their reaction time is slower, but they understand concepts better. Severe brain loss can occur before 65 years of age, usually caused by drug abuse, poor circulation, viruses, HIV for an example, and genes. Experiences in adulthood continue to enhance your brain development. Adults can better understand how one thing can impact other aspects of their life. In conclusion, the brain does shrink with age, but other parts keep growing, helping with understanding of life. Appearance. Many physical changes are associated with aging from birth to late adulthood. As people age, so does their appearance. There are many physical changes that occur on the outer appearance of an aging individual. Very common changes in physical appearance increase in wrinkles, decrease in muscle mass, loss of height, changes with hair color, hair loss, and or balding. The changes of appearance gradually change, and the changes are quite noticeable. Jennifer Aniston is an example of physical appearance in adulthood. During Jennifer's emerging adulthood, her skin is firm, she has no wrinkles, and her hair color is very vibrant. As we see Jennifer change to becoming an adult, we see wrinkles develop around her eyes and smile lines around her mouth. Her face has more dimension than her face was during her years as an emerging adult. Psychological changes. Psychological changes consist of vision and hearing, exercise, mental health, drugs and alcohol, nutrition, illness, viruses, genes, family planning, and disability. Senescence, as the aging process is called, is genetically coded for every species. The body becomes less strong and efficient as one ages. The brain begins to slow down and some parts of the brain begin to shrink. But recently, there have been studies that showed that parts of the brain grow and gain neurons during adulthood. The main area of this is the hippocampus that makes learning and memory a lot easier. With age, blood pressure increases, and so will increase the chances of stroke and heart disease. Hearing decreases and becomes more difficult to hear low noises. Vision decreases, and nearsightedness becomes common. Drugs and alcohol can increase the chances of having negative reactions due to medication one may be taking because of age-related health issues. The textbook says that regular physical activity can reverse slow or stop the effects of senescence and protect against serious illnesses despite if the person is a smoker, overeats, or drinks. It can also lower blood pressure, osteoporosis, strokes, straightens the lungs, heart, improves mental health, and many more benefits. Nutrition is very important because as we age, our metabolism decreases by 1/3 and digestion becomes less efficient. Disability in adults has been correlated recently with defective genes that have been passed down to them, but that does not necessarily mean that their life is over. There are many ways in which a person with disability can continue their life with the most comfort and normality as once before. Many adults have many life experiences. During the time of life experiences, we see women at the age of 65 who hit menopause and they're unable to get pregnant. Younger adult women in their 40s face infertility or problems getting pregnant, therefore they seek other options with bringing a child to the world. There are fertility treatments and there are surrogates offered to women seeking to become mothers. In the textbook, it is said that adults use destructive forms to deal with stress, like seeking drugs, binge drinking, risky behavior, overeating, basically not taking care of their health. The textbook also says that if the health deteriorates for husbands, the chances of divorce increases. The rate of divorce also increases when a couple has a child with a disability. When there is stress, adding more stress can cause a rapid decline in any type of relationship. It has been seen that less adults marry, but still wish to be married one day at least, and the non-marital romantic relationships are increasing. Divorce is unfortunate, but it does occur, and it is important when children are involved to keep the children out of the fights and the processes. In some cases, some divorce end up in stronger mother-to-daughter relationship or father-to-daughter relationship ties due to the end of marital fighting. Biosocial development. During adulthood, the biosocial development introduces adults to choices they make about their bodies and futures. We learn how adults grow older, sexual responses, as well as changes in strength and bodily functions. As we age, our external and internal parts of the body changes. One focal point I would like to focus on is the sexual reproductive system. The sexual reproductive system slows down as we age. Both men and women experience changes with their sexual reproductive system. During menopause, a woman's menstrual cycle stops and the ovaries stop producing estrogen. Physical changes to the sexual organs become apparent. As for men, hormone production declines. At age 20, testosterone production in men begins to decrease. As men entering adulthood, the testosterone production decreases to cause andropause. Men experience andropause, which is testosterone levels in older men reduces sexual desire, muscle mass, and erection. For most women, age-related changes in reproductive organs do not interfere with sexual activity after menopause. Couples can still maintain a healthy relationship with one another, even though physical changes occur with their bodies. Cognitive development. Cognitive development is the application for intelligence as it changes with age, components of intelligence, and selected gain and losses. It was traditionally assumed that intelligence was a general entity. The assumption of intelligence was coined in a measurable quantity. We see the cognitive intelligence found in IQ scores, which we will later discuss in the next slide. Components of intelligence consist of fluid intelligence. Fluid intelligence is the working memory which is based on accumulative knowledge, which increases as people age. According to Desboctative, without the category of knowledge, it is difficult to explain intellectual growth and differences in cognitive functioning and success in carrying out operations of the same type but differing content. Knowledge is the source of the adult's cognitive development. Cognitive abilities develop through cultural values and changing demands. As people continue to grow older, so does their selective knowledge and thought process. What this means is people choose to focus on certain aspects of their lives, selectively optimizing developmental factors in areas of their lives to reflect the intellectual skill they have chosen. We see this shown in the graph. An expert cognition consists of 4 factors. The expert can be flexible or better thinkers, strategic planning to perform the task they want, intuitive, and automatic without deliberate thought. Adults develop balance through their cognitive development. Cognitive development stems from an adult's experience and/or experiences. Adults have learned to solve their own problems better and making decisions either formal or informal. Adults engage in thinking more for complex situations and can distinguish their cognitive process to foresee the gray areas and multiple levels of problems in an abstract way. This also compensates for any decline in the adult's intellectual ability over their lifespan. The slide that you are viewing now is the tools slide. We decided to do an IQ and personality test. What you are seeing is a test conducted on a 23-year-old female and a 44-year-old female. For the 23-year-old female, her IQ is 130 and her personality test is INFJ. For the 44-year-old female, her results for the IQ test was 96 and personality test ENFJ. Now keep in mind that the lives of both are very different and their life experiences are also different, as well as their education. The 44-year-old female exercises daily, eats rather healthy, and does her best to keep a healthy lifestyle, as well as the 23-year-old. The 44-year-old female has an associate's degree, but is currently fighting lupus. She did not graduate high school, but has completed and received her GED. No one in her family has gone to college or received an associate's degree. The 23-year-old female is pursuing her bachelor's degree and continuing her education to get her master's degree. She is the second person in her family to attend college after her sister, who graduated with a bachelor's degree and has served as state representative and is involved in the political world. So it seems fit that the pressure is high for the 23-year-old to be successful and educated. For the 44-year-old female, she is single, lives with her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend, and was once married for 12 years to her previous husband. She later got divorced due to life-changing events and personality changes that did not fit either person in the marriage. Her views on marriage are still positive, but she does not want to marry at all anytime soon until she finds someone who will treat her how she should. As a person, she has grown to love herself and learn to take care of herself and not depend on anyone. As for the 23-year-old, she is engaged and lives with her son and fiancé. She still does not want to get married until she has completed school and has a job. The 23-year-old does come from a traditional Mexican household where the mother stays at home. The 23-year-old is mostly traditional, but is not a stay-at-home mom. Steinberg, fundamental forms of intelligence. The three forms of intelligence consist of analytical, creative, and practical. The three different forms of intelligence depends on age and culture. The most valued skill for adulthood is practical intelligence because it's what's valued most by everyone. People with analytical intelligence resist academic brilliance, and they rely on the people with practical intelligence to help with their ideas. Analytical intelligence is common in those who attend high school and college, whereas creative is valued when new challenges arise in only some political systems. However, practical intelligence is useful in every society. Psychosocial development. Adults are intellectual seekers. The adult's psychosocial development consists of connecting with others, the work of the adult, humanism, and social convoy. Each adult meets each and every development. The work of the adult establishes the foundation of adulthood, family, social engagements, and self-awareness. The adult develops work ethics and professionalism through employment. For many adults, employment brings pride and self-accomplishment. Developmental skills are learned, practice performed, and established in a working environment. An adult learns different facets from job switches, shift work, and the diversity of fellow workers, which can affect aspects of the adult development. If the adult wants to progress with their career, intellectual skills must be developed and extended. Through the work of the adult, there is an underlying life structure of the adult's life during a given time. This is built on the generativity aspects of their life, which the working adult finds important. As the working adult transitions into their career and/or job, there are turning points, which involves major changes in the adult's life throughout the lifespan. Erikson's theory. Erikson's adult stages don't always appear in chronological sequence, but they overlap. Every stage overlaps because adults never fully understand where they're at as we continue to go through life. Identity versus role confusion. Erikson stated that identity can be found in adolescence, but for the people that don't find their identity, find themselves in role confusion where they just don't fit anywhere. Since contexts keep evolving, adults reassess all types of identity, finding themselves in role confusion. For example, would be if an adult moved, they would want to connect with another person to avoid isolation and gain intimacy. Erikson's third stage talks about how an adult needs to feel needed, whether it's in helping others or caring for someone. People want to feel valued. Erikson's focus on identity was described as personal journey to find someone's self-worth and be able to connect to society. Maslow's theory of personality. Maslow's hierarchy of needs was a central idea of humanism. It's a theory that stresses the potential of all humans who have the same basic needs. Throughout the whole lifespan, we go through Maslow's hierarchy of needs. He has the theory of moving up and not looking back, meaning that once you step into the higher part of the ladder, that the lower parts are no longer needed. One example is someone that is willing to risk their safety to gain respect. Emerging adults seek love, but once you reach adulthood, it is when you start to seek respect. Maslow's theories state that all people have an inner drive for self-actualization, which is a process throughout the whole life. Theories. What you are now viewing is our theory slide. We decided to take Erikson's theory and Maslow's theory and compare the two. Erikson's theory, we see that there is a focus on identity. All of his ideas overlap, and a person can be set back as you get older. Focused on a person as a whole and emphasized family and culture. As for Maslow's theory, focus of personality. Once you reach a higher level, you don't need a lower level. As you get older is how you get higher in the ladder. Central idea of humanism. If we compare the two, we find that theories spaced into different stages in life, trying to reach one aspect in life, and focused on a person's development. We reached the end of our presentation. We want to say thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed this presentation. Until next time.